Let's get into it. It's crime o'clock, yeah, feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick-tock, won't stop, let the facts talk. Pull up real close, yeah, it's crime o'clock. Clock, clock, yeah. Typically new, neon signs glow, brick wall behind me. Headlines loud, but they never define me. They rush the story, skip the proof. I slow it down, let it show the truth. Files on deck, read every line. Timestamps matter, so does time. If it don't fit, I don't force the frame. Ask one question, whole story change. No fear my voice, no need to shout. Paper speaks when you read it out. If the math's off, I'll circle twice. Truth ain't loud, but it ain't nice. Yeah. Read it again. It's crime o'clock, yeah. Feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick tock, won't stop. Let the facts talk. Pull up real close, yeah. It's crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock. Read it again. They sell a narrative if I sell receipts. Courtroom quiet, but the pages speak. Word for word, no added spin. Let it stand, yeah. Let that sink in. Screenshot save, timeline's tight. Missing pieces keep me up at night. If they say alleged, I say why. If they say case closed, I say try. No rush here, we do it right. Truth don't bend for the likes of hype. If you came for noise, you in the wrong spot. This is evidence, this is crime o'clock. Clock, clock, clock. Stay with me. This isn't background noise. This is pattern recognition. This is documents. This is crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock, yeah. Feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick tock, won't stop. Let the facts talk. Say it with me now. Crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock. Typically unique. It's crime o'clock. Yeah. If you're here, you're early. If you're listening, you're paying attention. Show starts now.
Welcome back to Crime O'Clock on Typically Unique. Hello, everybody. And if you're new here, my name is Kim. It's so great to see everybody tonight. And this is my spontaneous live show evening edition. We decided, there's a group of us that we needed to have tonight because some important information has come out. Thanks to Accomplished Day, and I'm going to have her come up in a minute. She has discovered something very important about the records requests that many of us have been making, and she's going to share what she has found. And then we're all going to be joined by a spectacular panel. Logan from Bronx Tales is coming up. Dago from the True Crime Cafe, Connor, Idaho 4, of course, Accomplished Day, and Christie's Chaos should be joining us also a little bit later. So I want to say hello to everybody. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to all the mods. We appreciate you guys. And I'm going to go ahead. Oh, before I bring her up, I do have a little disclaimer. So tonight we are going to be talking about some things allegedly. We're going to be speculating. We're going to be approaching this topic as like an investigation. Like we're investigating into something. So we're going to be raising a lot of questions. And we are at no point going to be accusing any government agency of absolutely doing anything, but we are going to discuss some things and talk about it and ask questions. So Keep that in mind. And I'm sure when I bring people up, they'll remind me if I need to add to that. But let me bring up Accomplished Day. Hello.
Hey, Kim. How are you?
I'm great. How are you tonight?
I'm good. Good.
Good. Okay. So most everybody in the chats are going to know who you are. You have been on Birdie's show. You have been on Jules. Forgive me if I'm forgetting Dago's. Accomplished has, I was so thrilled when you agreed to be a part of our show and help moderate the channel also. So that's amazing. But you've done a lot of work on this case. So just real quick, what are some of the things like you've created so everybody can?
Well, I started out making that master timeline that went around, and then I've just created like maps of where everybody was like at certain times, just to kind of like a visual. And then on Birdie's channel, I did some theories about what I believe happened, and then I dug into some of the college students like backgrounds, like with the whole drug angle, and I've made like kind of like a theory slide on that too, but then I've also been trying to get FOIAs and interviews out to everybody as well.
Right. And that is why we have invited the people that are going to join us up here, because this is FOIA related, right? So I don't want to keep everybody waiting for what you discovered. But I do have to say, like in our Discord, the things that you and other people, it takes everybody, right? Like everybody is just sharing information. And I mean, the amount of photos of people and places and things that everybody finds is amazing. And I'm so grateful for you and for everybody that participates in that. It's amazing.
Yes, everybody needs to join your Discord or the Discord, because we have fun in there too. Like, it's fun.
It is. Yep. That's a great community. Okay, you guys, I'm bringing up Logan and Mr. Dago and Connor. Hello, guys.
Hello. Evening.
It's
Hello.
so great to all be together. And everybody, if you would, wants to hear you say hello.
Say that again.
I said, everybody, I'm sure, just wants to hear Connor say hello.
Yes.
Hello.
He does exist.
There we go.
Oh, Connor, we all appreciate you so much.
Very much.
Yeah. A long
you,
time
guys.
coming, getting you up here. Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
First YouTube live, so I'm a little nervous. I can't lie, but
Don't be nervous.
No reason to be.
Nope.
No.
Everybody appreciates you so much. You put so much work and time and effort into this. We couldn't even thank you enough.
You're very, very well respected in the community. Both you and Accomplished both.
thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, you guys. So we know that everybody up here has gone through the requesting records process and digs into this Idaho 4 case in all of our different ways. I think what I love about especially this group right here, like I feel like everybody's kind of got their own little niche of what we do. And Accomplished, would you start by sharing like what you stumbled upon or went looking for today?
Yeah. So last week I was talking to everybody knows who the girl is at MPD that you talked to about the FOIA request. And I was talking to her because she was telling me that ISP supplemental 52, there's I think 10 different interviews on it. She told me, and we know the initials to everybody, but we also knew some of the names. And I was
Right.
informed that none of those interviews existed except for the one that Logan had requested for Chase Dixon. That was the only one that she told me existed out of that report, right? So she then went on to tell me that when they get a FOIA request, what she does is she goes into their system, like into their internal system, and she's using the initials that you provided to her of the person's name or just the initials, or she's using the report number, or she's using like an officer's name or, you know, one of those items to try to locate the information. Well, I was like, there's so many, like read up more for like ISP 115. They denied that one to multiple people. And they have knife pictures in that one too. And then also his interview and another person's interview. They'll tell you they don't exist. So I was like, why do they keep saying this? Because we know they exist. They took his DNA. Like they have to have them. So I just started looking through documents, and I went into the EWU documents, and I found Timothy Smaldridge's and Anthony Dollinger's affidavit that they filed with EWU.
Okay,
Right.
hold on
And
one.
it's very
Can I-
interesting. Yeah.
Just 1 second, just because you have so much great information.
Uh-huh.
So she's saying that people are requesting these records and they are saying they don't exist, but we have an official report saying that they do. And then not only that, but I love the point you just made that there's an action that might have happened after or is described in that report. Like we took this person's DNA, or we have a photo from their phone, or something like that. So you can't say you didn't interview them because we have like some additional
Report.
evidence that they did. So you were thinking about that. And then what made you go to the WSU thing? Like what made you think of that?
EWU.
Or,
Well, the
EWU.
other thing is, the other thing was, it's like I ran into it and I got really upset with MPD because, like, with Yessie's interview, you know, they originally told me that didn't exist, but there's an evidence number in her interview. I then sent the evidence number and I said, no, it does exist. And that was how I received it. So I went to the EWU thing because, like, the person at MPD who was telling me this information, it was almost as if like she was kind of like saying, I know this isn't how we should be doing this, but this is the only thing I have to look this stuff up, you know? Well, so I went to EWU, and Kim, if you want to pull up their affidavits in that drive so that we can like just look at it.
Yep, I have it ready to go.
And I would maybe pull up like the Timothy Smaldridge's one.
Yeah, I figured you'd want to start with that one.
Yeah.
Oh no, this. Okay. It might take a second. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So I think I highlighted it like in green. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So Timothy is the property and evidence coordinator for Moscow Police Department. He's been in that position since 2018. Prior to that, he was like the records technician from 2004 to 2018. I'm pretty positive that the person who now handles, you know, the request for the FOIA, that's what her position is. It's something like the records technician, you know. So he's became the property of evidence coordinator for the city of Moscow. So he like, go ahead.
This is important because later on, I looked at this before we came up here. And when we get down further, like I wanted to make sure I knew what his title is. He's the property and evidence coordinator. Okay. But he used to be the records technician. And you think that's what, did we name her? Did we say her name?
No, I haven't been naming her. Yeah.
Okay. But you think that's the person that like responds to the emails and calls people, the records technician?
Oh, yes, it is. It is. Mm-hmm.
Okay, for sure. Okay.
And I think that's what her position possibly is now. Like she's doing what he did. So,
Gotcha.
in the affidavit, he's just talking about like what he does, So right here, he states the Moscow Police Department currently has copies of all digital evidence stored on a secure Synology drive. He utilized the Windows Properties tool to identify the number of files stored on the drive, which is the following. So in the items booked for evidence, there's 257, 540, or 74 files. And that compromises 7.39 terabytes, right? So it's photos, videos, audio, digital copies of letters, emails, and documents. So that's the important part. He says the Synology drive, okay? So if you keep going.
257,000 files. Why does this keep doing this? I don't want to make a copy. So this is only, wait a minute. So window properties tool. So Synology has 7.39 terabytes.
Oh no, there's more. There's another section. So these are items from these are from the forensic detectives, and there's 2 million plus files that compromise 50.8. And it's surveillance video, phone data downloads, search warrant returns, interviews, photos, So the next line, the 7, that's where the important part comes in. The digital evidence stored in the Synology drive does not include the records associated with 22-M09903 that are maintained by Moscow Police Department records. So anytime the police department is receiving a FOIA request, they are only searching in their internal system for anything that you're requesting for. They are not touching the Synology drive. So there is 58 point something terabytes of data that they're not even touching to look up our request.
Let that sink in, you guys.
58 point
Right
whatever terabytes.
50.8 terabytes plus it's set up here 7.9, 7.39.
Yes.
That is a massive amount of information that is being withheld on purpose, you guys. That's insane.
That is
58.
And so you're probably going to ask me, people are probably going to say like, well, how do you know that they're not looking in that system? Well, in a minute, when we look at Dollinger's affidavit, the system that is housed by Moscow Police Department is called the Spillman System of Record. That is where all the evidence that is related to the case, the 950 files that they have named and labeled, the 314 MPD investigative reports, that's where all of that is stored. That is what they look up when you send a request in for the data related to the case. But this drive is held by Timothy, and nobody's searching it.
I when you told me this, I was like, oh, what?
So
And
go ahead.
I had to read it a couple times. Like, it's very clear. They are naming the case number. Like, they're literally saying the case number.
So Smaldridge is the only person that has access to this one drive, right?
Yes. And so he goes on to keep saying that the challenges with where that data is stored is it sometimes came in a form of a thumb drive, because you have to think they're getting information from the FBI, from ISP, from Washington, from Pennsylvania. Everybody has different naming conventions. They're just throwing it into the Synology, but they at least have the files somewhat named of what they are. It's just not Moscow's naming convention. So it could be interviews, ring camera footage from neighborhood surveillance videos, all this stuff he's named. It's clear in this affidavit, right?
Yeah.
Is there a way we can ask
go ahead.
for it, like we know there's a different space. Can we
pull from the
have
Synology drive? Yeah.
right?
I did that. That's exactly what we did. in a minute, I'll show you the request that we sent in. But when I was talking to Kim about it, we feel like people should know this. Like there's 58.19 terabytes that nobody's seeing. Like they're not even searching when you go and you make a FOIA request. They're just telling you, oh, it doesn't exist, or they'll maybe use the excuse of it was FBI. But no, it does exist. It's just in that other system that y'all failed to label. And that's not the public's fault.
Right. And this is only within Moscow PD's access, folks. We have requested things via phone calls, document requests, whatever you want to call it, through ISP as well as the FBI. And the FBI and ISP both say they have given everything back to Moscow. It's in this file. If they're claiming they don't have it, it's in that file. Why are they holding it in that file, not searching through that? Is it specific information that we're not allowed to see for a reason, or is it because of another reason? But either way, it absolutely needs to be known because it's ridiculous. They're lying to us. Blatantly lying.
I'm sure Accomplished Day will explain that when she shares how she requested the information, but it's a law that they have to produce these records to the public. Like you can't hide this kind of information. We don't know all the facts or what happened or what's going on, but if they have this, it looks like it's not matching up what they have been telling us. Like, and I went back and looked at something I requested back in like September of 25. So it's been almost a year. And it was about the medical examiner. And they told me that, I don't know if they worded it didn't exist or that it was one of those, they don't have it because the other agency has it. And they've done that with so many. Like we're all going to be able to tell so many stories about that. Like
they try to blame it on somebody else so that they don't have to take the hit for it. Right.
But they're the lead investigators. They house the investigation.
Everything.
Yeah.
Well, it makes you wonder now. Some of these experts have come out and said, I've seen this. I've seen that. We don't know where the hell none of that is. And as far as we're concerned, there's people calling these people liars, saying this doesn't exist, that doesn't exist, that doesn't exist, so on and so forth. It makes you wonder, is it in that file?
Has this been provided to EWU and their lawyers?
No, that's the problem. EWU should have seen this in what they like EWU should have seen this in what they stated in their affidavits, and they should have said, then tell me what's in the Synology. And they didn't. That's the huge problem. It's like people don't even recognize that this is another system that has all this data that you can request from. That's the problem. But no, they should, Logan. Like they should have said, we see in your affidavit that you're saying it's all stored on this other server, and that's why we keep getting denied,
Yeah.
Because he even says that not all the digital evidence is labeled, but he tried to go through it and label it, but there's stuff in there that's like labeled multiple interviews. Okay, well, that's interviews, so you should be listening to them and then figure out who they are.
They cannot hide stuff. And whether it's intentional or not, it sounds to be kind of illegal because any police department could do that, just not label something, and then nobody ever gets the information. And they could do that with critical information that the public should and needs to have.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to jump in real quick. I was reading through the Pullman documents that were released a while back, and in it, there was some emails that I found, and they were talking about how they were putting evidence related to this case under a different case number because they didn't want people to request it, so they didn't have to release it, if that makes sense. So that could have been the same thing. I mean, we've seen it with Connor Chestnut and Jack Showalter's.
Bingo. Good call, Connor. Good call.
And then also in the general narrative report for MPD, I think one of their other issues is stuff is not sorted correctly, and I think it's very poorly labeled and stuff because the amount of we have the full evidence list in the general narrative report, And there's like, I pulled it up right now. One of them says DVD, MPD, letter, interviews, paper, CD. Like, that's not specific enough. And if that stuff's in like a separate folder and they're not searching that folder, then they're not going to find what we're looking for. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I'm curious, were these files and folders and CDs and everything provided to even Ann Taylor at all?
Thank you.
That's my question. How would they know what they have to give her if they don't even know what they have?
Absolutely.
That's a great point. And in the Kim, where was it in the book? I know that's like the Bible for you over there, the true crime Bible. Was it? I can't remember where exactly it was. It was in the the very beginning of the book. Chris Whitcomb states that there was exculpatory evidence found in mislabeled files of the case. Exculpatory evidence to Brian Koberger found in mislabeled files that he had gone through, that he had seen. So is this what this is? You know what I mean? I mean, how much more stuff is in there that could be exculpatory to Brian, to the case in general?
I think it's two different things. And they're saying it right here, which I think if you read this quickly, you might not catch what they're really saying. It's two separate things. The mislabeling is happening all over the place. No matter which system they live in or look in, I don't think that they are labeling things clearly. And with Ann Taylor, they did that massive data dump, right? Like either right at the last hour. I heard she was even getting stuff after the plea deal. I mean, so definitely she's not making her way through unorganized, unlabeled 58 terabytes of video and audio and all of that stuff. So no, she didn't see everything.
Right.
There's no way.
Great point.
And I do think that it's a little, go ahead, Connor.
Sorry. And I believe in one of Chris Whitcomb's interviews, he did mention how there was like a subfolder in the files he has. And it was like, when you click on it, it was like folder after folder after folder after folder. And then eventually, after like a ton of clicks, he eventually got to the PDF file with over like 2,000 pages or something.
Yes. That's what I was referring to, because he told us that when we had that interview with him behind the scenes when he wasn't live on it, he was telling us that kind of stuff, that there's so much stuff in these files that has never been seen, touched, looked at, anything. You know what I mean? So this is crazy, you guys. This is crazy.
So when you have an investigation,
Kim, if
like
you go down to, sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, when you have an investigation like this, and as important as it is, why would you be so why would you bury stuff inside folder after folder after folder? And
do you think that's what it is, Kim, or do you think this is being done on purpose or intentionally?
Well, how can it not be, is my question.
Right.
And I'm wondering, how far does this go if they didn't get the file, speculating they didn't get the files to Ann Taylor, or they were mislabeled, or whatever the case is, then does that mean the case has to be relooked at completely?
It should. If there was absolutely no, I'm sorry, go ahead, Kim.
No, finish.
If there was stuff that was absolutely intentionally withheld because it was put into this separate device, okay, and held in a separate area away from people to even know about this, you're withholding information and evidence on purpose, or compromising. You know what I'm saying? That's bullshit. Yet the whole case would have to be seen and heard again, in my opinion.
All right, let's let Accomplished Day finish this. Is there more on here, Accomplished?
So if you just go to number 10, like to the number 10 point, like just scroll down just a little bit. So he even says right there, often the descriptions of the contents of the electronic data is vague or incomplete, such as multiple interviews, or the audio video files themselves are not named in such a way to give an idea of what it might be. This has a layer of complication to searching for specific items. So if you go to Anthony Dollinger's affidavit, there's even more information than what he has. And it shows you that they're not this shows you they're not using the Synology system to search for what we're requesting from them. because he said it's not in those records held by Moscow Police Department. They're held by him.
Wow.
So in turn, no matter, it could be specific things they don't want us to have or see because it would go against their narrative, allegedly. But that would mean we would be getting nowhere. We can ask as much as we want. If they're not looking in the place where the good information is that we want, there's no point in doing any of this.
I don't, yeah, exactly. I don't know if I highlighted it. Hold on. I have it on my phone though. Like what I found on this one. Let's see. It says on here. Oh. One second. Sorry, I'm having to.
That's okay.
It's going to be towards the page 6. Like go to page 6. On there. Okay, so right here, like this paragraph, but if you just go down like a little bit more.
Oh my gosh, it doesn't. 17 or in 16?
Okay, just a little bit more. Yeah, it's in 17, but it's he starts talking in the number 17 about like the sheer volume of information and the data received by all agencies and interviews conducted, digital media received, all that. There have been over 950 items booked into evidence at MPD associated with this case, many of which have no evidentiary value. And there are 511 items and files attached electronically to the report in the MPD Spillman system. Due to the large, and so the Spillman system is what they're looking up when you send them a FOIA request. When you send them a public records request, that is what they're looking up, and it consists of these files that they have labeled, named, they know what they are.
Just because they say it's not of evidentiary value doesn't mean that it's not of evidentiary value.
Right.
It could mean that to them because they have their guy.
That's their opinion.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I think what he's saying here needs to be dug into for me. So he's saying
this is huge.
He's saying the sheer volume of information received by all agencies, so the interviews, digital media, is a significant amount, more than I've ever collected in any case I've ever been a part of. Over 950 items booked into evidence at MPD associated with this case. So that, to me, that's like one statement. And then he says, and there were 511 items and files attached electronically to the report in the Spillman system. So is he acknowledging here? It's because they can't do something like this and get like they have it. What am I trying? How do I want to say this? I think they're telling the truth that they have this other stuff somewhere else. They're telling us that in these reports. Because they can't not do that. They would get in big trouble.
Oh,
right?
It gets better, Kim. The next page, it gets worse.
Right.
He goes straight into it.
So 950 items over here, and then 511 in Spillman, which is what they're searching when we put in a FOIA request, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Did I interpret
well, I mean,
right?
It's just saying that 950 was booked into evidence. So like I'm wondering if that I took that as that's physical evidence. That's not an interview. That's not something that's digital. I took that in like they literally booked 950 items.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
So then he says they were all stored on a separate server called Synology. The Synology contains 58.19 terabytes of data. And then it just tells you what all of it is. And then it goes on to say, in addition, there were 314 supplemental reports written by investigators and officer of MPD alone. But those reports aren't in the Synology system because they came from the MPD Spillman system. They say Spillman on them.
Yes.
So wait, these reports, these 314 SLEPs, those are on top of the reports that we already have seen?
No, I think we have
No.
314
Oh,
MP.
okay, I'm sorry. I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure I understood that. Thank you.
Yeah, those are the ones they released.
I think that was
Yeah.
just thrown in. He threw that in to try to make it not look as bad as what he's
Right.
saying looks.
Right. Yeah, it definitely looks bad.
So-
You are not lying. Wow.
Yeah. So then he goes on to say they are the lead agent for the case for receipt of physical evidence. When MPD received items of evidence, it came in a form of a thumb drive with no description or what sort of data it was. It could have been interviews, ring camera footage, surveillance videos. Due to the sheer volume of law enforcement agencies like assisting ISP and FBI, utilizing a substantial number of resources, including the use of law enforcement officers throughout the FBI. Each agency had their own way of tracking their staff's activity, logging in evidence, following their own policies and procedures for different aspects related to criminal investigations. So the FBI named their files differently than ISP and MPD, and so it's hard for you to search them. That's basically what he's saying.
Yep. I feel like we've heard that before. Maybe we heard that from the EWU.
Yes.
I'm going to jump in real quick, if that's okay. And kind of off topic, but kind of not. But if they're saying in here that there is so much stuff being given to them and it's not overly specific, then how do we know that they watched it themselves, If they're getting sent all this stuff, how do we know that they are spending their time and watching this? How do we know there is not different stuff in there?
Great point.
I've told a couple people this, not publicly, but I'll say it now publicly. I've spoken to someone who was at the Sigma Chi party, and she was interviewed, and I verified that this is the correct person and that she was there and stuff. And she told me that she submitted a video to Idaho State Police of Ethan in the background of her video. There was Ethan and someone else being in an argument at the Sigma Chi party.
And they're withholding that from the wow, bro.
And that information is not in the report either.
Nowhere. And nobody talks about it, Connor. Nobody talks about that. There's no report. No. Wow. So that is they're intentionally withholding that because it doesn't fit that narrative.
Yeah. The girl who was at the party specifically came out and told me that she has a video that she gave to Idaho State Police that shows Ethan in an argument with someone else in the background.
And they buried that shit deep. Damn.
But didn't we call that without even knowing that information?
Yes,
didn't we call that? And that's why he had to be taken out by Pete?
Yeah. I mean, well, no, that was at the Hunkadunga that happened. But that's right. Sounds like there was more than one instance, Logan. But here's the thing. They will not allow anybody to talk about, or if they have, they've hidden it, about a fight. Nobody talking about any fighting that night except for Chris Wickham saying there were 3 fights that night. But there's nothing in any of the reports we reviewed. Nothing. Anywhere. And every time they ask one of the students in the interview, did anything weird go on that night? Nobody brings up an argument, a fight, anything like that ever. Almost
they
like
don't want to say anything bad.
Don't
no fights
talk about it. Yeah.
Nope. No fights, no drugs, no cheating, no, everything was great.
There's proof, like what Connor just said. Somebody physically handed over a video to them of an argument going on. Poof. Where is it?
I'm going to read the little report that's here, because the report about this is in Idaho State Police 101. It is point A. It's a little paragraph. It says, on December 7th, 2022, I telephoned, her name's Kaylee Travernier, something like that. I telephoned that girl. She claims that she knows victim Ethan Chapin and others and was present at the Sigma Chi party with her best friend, blank. She believed Ethan wasn't acting like himself and keeping to himself. Kaylee later stated that she may have mistaken the identity of the person she believed was Ethan. She provided via email a vague video from the party. No evidentiary value was obtained in this video. And when I was talking to this girl, the girl said, I never told them that I was mistaken. She said that she was 100% sure this was Ethan, and she did know it was Ethan, and she did not mistake it, and she did not know that letter.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
Wow. They're deliberately hiding things.
Read, Connor, I don't mean to make you do this, but please read that statement about what Ethan was doing again. That part of it, if you would, my friend.
On the report?
Yes, if you could. I'm sorry to ask you to do that.
No, you were good. You were so good. It's fine. It says, she believed Ethan wasn't acting like himself and keeping to himself. Kaylee later stated she may have mistaken the identity of the person she believed was Ethan. She provided via email a vague video from the party. No evidentiary value was obtained in the video. The provided video is added to evidence data of this report.
There it is, right there. That is, wow.
That's also in Whitcomb's book. That part is in here. I remember that. And he reports how he just repeats what the report says, that she changed her mind, or she wasn't sure that it was him.
And she said she never did that. She told you that's not true. They made that part up. So how many other times have we seen this happen? And that we don't even know about, I wonder.
Yeah. How did she feel about that, Connor, when you told her that that's like, it doesn't say what she said?
I'm trying to pull up my messages with her.
That is insane, you guys.
This girl, she is friends with Kyle Fry, Jacqueline Bellevue, Caleb Jacobson, all of them on Instagram and stuff. So
that's legit. That's the whole crew that was kind of the last. They were the last ones at Sigma Chi.
Yeah, and that tonight or today, I did the Bellevue interview, and she made that statement about Ethan or Xana and Ethan being there till like, what was it? She left them at 2 a.m. and somebody was back at the house at 3 or 3:30, or back at the place at 3 or 3:30 that morning. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff that has been transversed here and turned around and flipped upside down and turned inside out, that it sounds to me like MPD's changing their stories. If they did it with one person, why would they not do it with others? Sorry, Connor, go ahead.
Yeah. She did send, I forgot about this part. She did end up going in and requesting her interview to make sure she didn't say that. And she sent me a screenshot of it, and it was denied because it did not exist.
Good for her, but holy shit.
Oh my God.
They denied her own interview?
Mm-hmm.
Because it don't exist, Logan.
Oh my.
Connor, is that the one who requested in that FOIA file that we got from MPD? I want everything from my own statement. And we were like, who requested this? Because it was somebody involved.
Yeah, could you? I have the report number. It's 26-16.
Is it ISP or is it MPD?
Or that's her request number.
We need to talk about
FOIA request.
That's the first person I've heard that's like concerned, that wants to like find out what, you know,
that something is wrong.
Yes.
And she said in her request, she said, I told them everything about it and requested the documents, but it's weird how they're non-existent and how they would have accessed them.
They shredded it. It's gone.
So a while back, I did send a request into ISP to get any email communications with her, and they said that they needed an extended period of time, and I have not heard back yet. So
good luck with that one, bud.
Yeah.
Well, guys, at least here's justification right here.
We are all validated.
Yeah, 100%, without a doubt.
In knowing that this is wrong. Something is wrong. Something is very wrong here.
And this is only one instance, Logan. One.
Yeah. Sounds like there's about
I'm trying to
60
find
other
that
terabytes of instances.
Wow.
Connor does have a PayPal, and I know that in our chat we've got those links ready to go. Mods, can someone drop Connor's links, please?
And just so everyone knows how big, like how much stuff exists for this case, there's about 60 gigabytes that have been released to the public of data like from MPD of body cam photos, interviews. About 60 gigabytes, and 100 gigabytes is equal to 1 terabyte.
That's all we've gotten is 60 gigs.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What would they have? They probably have a ton of footage from the whites. Like we could go on and on and on. What would they would have in this case? There's probably so many video cameras, you know, just speculating over here, but what would make up all those terabytes?
I've been screaming, Kim, you know this, and Logan both. I have been screaming about these at least 3 cameras that I know exist. I know for a fact they're there because I saw them with my own eyes. There's no way they weren't working.
Yes, and not only the cameras, but they canvassed and knocked on every single door of the Queen apartments. You don't think they did that at the Whites? They knocked on every door up and down King and Queen Road, but we can't see one door knock at the Whites.
And there's cameras at the Whites. There are cameras at the White apartments on either end of the terrace, the walkways. There's a camera on each end, I do believe. And there's one on the back. That's one of the ones I've been screaming about.
There has to be. So,
and I've never understood how they've said that, like, there weren't cameras there because it's an apartment building. What kind of apartments, especially in 2022, did not have cameras? Like, I mean, if we were back like 50 years ago, then maybe I'd understand that. But it's 2022. Like, I feel like everybody has cameras now.
You are correct.
Especially in a business, especially in an apartment building.
Well, look at the Linda Lane apartments. How many cameras were over there? Okay. There's been multiple cameras on that apartment building. Why would there not be any on the Whites when it's almost the same? It's an apartment building. And we've seen it. Like we saw footage from a camera from there. And I saw when we did the live video with the boots on the ground person there, there's a camera, at least one on the back end of that building, on the back side of that facing 1122. Where's that footage at? That's what I was screaming for. They're saying it doesn't, or they're ignoring me completely on that one. So,
well, they also in the month, like during that whole month prior, there was a lot of thefts in the area, breaking into cars and stuff. You mean to tell me nobody went out and got a personal camera?
Well, remember, Logan, everybody was saying that neighborhood is a kind of like the Harlem of Moscow. That's a bad neighborhood. People. That's why there's probably so many cameras around. Sorry, I looked like you were going to talk, Kim. Go ahead.
Well, I don't know if they did, but remember that we call it the peony video with the girl's car that got broke into.
Right.
And then as soon as that happened, she then moved over, didn't she? She's the one who moved into the 1112 house and bought that camera. Isn't that her that because she had an incident, she bought that camera? So maybe they didn't. I don't know. But here's a good question for Connor. Connor, does that girl still have the Ethan video?
I did actually ask her about that. I saw that and I was trying to pull up my messages so I could get her words from it. But
that would be,
I don't want to paraphrase.
If I had something like that, I wouldn't get rid of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, but then I would be afraid for her too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm trying to find her messages so I can use her words.
While you're looking, accomplished. You were saying something?
Yeah, if you refresh that Google Drive link that I sent to you, just like if you have it open, just refresh it, and then open up the picture I uploaded that says screenshot, and I can show you. Because Connor, I don't remember when you talked to her, but I pulled up that FOIA that we found where somebody said they wanted a copy of their statement.
I would like to request my statement. The police from the Idaho former. Gotcha.
Oh, sorry.
It
says closed.
Okay, what she said about the video. What she said about the video was I asked if I could see the video, And she said, no, probably not. I wasn't allowed to share it then, and I don't want it circulating now.
Understood. I understand.
Yeah. She wants it in law enforcement. She wants it in the correct hands for an investigation.
Yeah.
Which I understand. Yeah.
Makes perfect sense.
Wow.
What she said the video was she said, I have a video of him in the background arguing with somebody, and that's it. Her words.
But the statement that he wasn't acting himself that night and he was keeping to himself, that's an interesting statement, because our understanding of Ethan Chapin was that he was very outgoing, he was very friendly, everybody loved him. What was wrong with, and I've been saying something was going on around Ethan that night. I that kind of justifies that to me. You know what I mean? I'd like to know more about it, obviously, but
But here's the thing. Everybody else around that night knew that too and didn't say anything.
Right. No, I agree. So I think it's something that nobody's allowed to talk about, Logan. Because again, same reason why I think that Ethan and Xana's timeline has been withheld from us the whole time. We still don't have a real timeline for them. There's a reason for that, I think.
Well, we already knew that, and now we're hearing that evidence of him throughout that night to add to the timeline. That argument could be benign. It could be nothing, but it's evidence.
Oh, it's all evidence, Kim. Every bit of anything is evidence when it comes to this case of anything that went on that night, period.
Think about the balls you have to tell the person who gave you the information, and she's asking for her own information, the balls they have to tell her it doesn't exist. Remember, you didn't give it to us.
Right.
So dang well she did.
How many, and that's the thing, how many other times has that happened, Logan?
I feel like that was a power trip to her. Like, keep your mouth shut.
Right? And that's probably why she doesn't want it out there either, because she's probably got a little bit of fear, depending on what they said to her, or what they did.
But that's another thing that I know I don't want to say out loud, but I have thought it a lot, is what was said to these kids. And nobody knows anything. Nobody knows Kaylee. Nobody knows about any drugs. Nobody everything was fine. And they all say the same thing. Oh, there was a stop. Like, we listen to these interviews. They all say the same information, except for the little nuggets we get that's individual to them. And those have been priceless. But you can tell there's like this general narrative that they all say the same stuff.
And they can say whatever they want to these college kids before they turn that audio device on to record them. Don't say this, don't say that. You don't know anybody, you don't know anything. And then they turn the audio on. So what'd you do that night?
It's just, the Sigma Chi victimology, Ethan Chapin interviews, every damn one of them were identical. Like they went in 20 minutes before and said, here, read this. Don't go off script. This is all you got to do. And on they go. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. This is ridiculous. But again, justification. Here it is.
Now it really makes me wonder, what did they tear the house down for? What are they hiding? And what really were the U.S. Marshals there for? And the FBI and everything?
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah. It's in that other server, Kim and Jen. It has to be. I think all of them are, because they're the custodian of all the evidence. 100%.
Yeah.
I think so many people were interviewed by the FBI in this case. Like, have you guys ever heard the name? Hold on, let me pull it up. Have you heard the name Joey Cross before?
Never.
No.
Well, the FBI she goes to University of Idaho and was friends with Xana in passing, but the FBI was calling her to set up an interview, but she wasn't sure if it was actually the FBI. So her dad, I think it says in the ISP report, called one of his friends who was Detective Stennett.
Oh, is that the Michigan one?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that shows, if we I think there are a ton of interviews that were done by the FBI that we don't know about, because here is my list of people that MPD has denied interviews for, citing that they do not exist, okay? Claire Carrillo, Ethan Runge, Gideon Amer, Hayden Edwards, Jack Katovic, Mason Bangman, David Barosha, David Loach, Madison Moy, Cooper Atkinson, Kai Johnson, DJ Myers, Jesse Holsek, Ellie Shepard, Emma Vigil, Riley Black, Maya Hippensteel, Ella Sykes, Eon Harsh, Bailey Miller, Haley Gabbard, Molly Gray, Zach McClure, Laura Lynch, and Miles Lefevre, or whatever, however you say it.
Every single one of those, minus a couple names, are severely important, Connor. Every single one of those.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
When you said Zach McClure, I'm like, well, that's because he was at Kennedy Fitzgerald's house when they left, and we have that huge discrepancy. Plus, Dylan saying they took a Sobro and someone called it for her. So I'm sure there was only so many guys there that could have called it.
Lake couldn't walk.
Right, but then you have that contradiction. So I mean, he probably has more information, is my point. All those names, wow, those are names that people have been talking about since like
day one.
Yes, like immediately.
Yeah, especially David Loach. That's a huge one for a lot of people, and we all know who. Weren't you told, Connor, that was it, or was it you or somebody else that was a federal interview?
I was told that both David B and David Loach, that their interviews did not exist.
That's it.
Me too.
There you go. Okay. Somebody else I thought was
Connor,
told
do you have the one open that shows all the FBI ones who they told us were FBI, and that nope, we haven't even ever heard?
Yeah, the ones that were told that were FBI were Jake Schreiger, Allie Benson, Connor Chestnut. I added Sadie Buck on here just because she obviously was interviewed by the FBI because she is on the witness list.
Right.
Quinn Kelly, and Bailey Dempster. And then I guess we also know that Dylan Mortensen, Ava Wood, Mason Barstow, and Bianca Perez were all also interviewed by the FBI as well. I mean, Bianca Perez, I didn't feel like she was that important to the case, but she, in the one interview that we got recently, she said that she was interviewed over 5 times. So
yeah, right. Why did they go back to her so many times? And I feel like, go ahead. Yeah. Sorry.
I did send FOIAs to the FBI. And so any of the ones that I did not have a request from to say, like, you need to go for this, you know, and if I stated a name, like they denied it straight away. Like they denied Jake, they denied there were 3 other, Allie Benson, because there's not a report for her. They denied that and all that. I had Quinn Kelly's denied to me from MPD, and that one hasn't been denied, but I haven't gotten a case number for it. And then they denied Connor Chestnuts at the FBI. But the one that they actually approved and they opened for me was I attached ISP 189 to it, where it was talking about how the FBI did all the interviews for like the victimology and just basically the interviews through the whole case. They opened that case, and it's an active open FOIA on the website, and you can go look up the number like anytime that you want, and it'll tell you the current status. And right now it's saying that they're searching their system for related information, but it was weird because I was very vague, and when I didn't state a name, they opened that one, but they did not open any of the ones where I have individual names. If they are a living person, they will for people who are deceased. They will approve them for deceased, but not like, you know, people that were involved in this. If you go and name their exact name.
That's crazy.
Wild.
Every interview that I've asked for MPD that they say FBI has this, you can't have it, I turn around and FOIA the FBI just because I want to have that denial. And they deny every single
privacy. Yeah. Or the what was the other label? Oh God, something about, I can't think right now. I can't. It'll come back to me in a little bit. You guys have any the Chapin siblings? in any of those interviews with any of them listed anywhere?
Oh, they've denied every single family members for me because it was privacy.
Yeah, me too.
That's so ridiculous. I've watched 5-year-olds police interviews about
With
family
video
members.
on them.
Yes.
They didn't
with
even hide the video on
Yes.
them.
Yes. Yeah.
And and half of these people that we have interviews for have come out and given interviews and documentaries and stuff. So they're not that concerned about privacy if they're showing their face and giving interviews on like Amazon Prime and Netflix and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I believe part of the EWU lawsuit, they're claiming that the FBI, like they can't use that excuse that the FBI did the interview, so it's in their custody. Everything should be under the custody of the agency in charge of the case. This was not the FBI's case. It's Moscow's case. And I think that's how it goes.
So
it says it at the end of every report that this was then provided to MPD.
Right. I don't think they're going to get away with that for long.
So Kim, do you want to pull up like what I asked for them since we found that other like server and what we specifically asked? And I want to give a shout out to Pedro Pony. He helped me with this request because he's really tech savvy, and I knew that he would know what to ask for. And he did a really good job, and he helped me. And I probably annoyed him, but I sent it in, and he helped me word it to the point to where we don't believe that they can deny it. Like they've stated this system exists. And so they're saying that, our requests are too vague or whatever, So we've basically asked to give us their folder tree, like to tell us what the folder tree of that system is and what's in those files. You can redact names, like if you need to redact names for privacy, but if you give us the file name extensions, that's all we need. And then we're just going to send back to you. We want all the MP3 files out of that system.
Is this the right one?
Yes.
And can we answer this question real quick before you do that? It kind of goes with it. Is there an official witness and interview count? I don't know what that.
I don't think there's one like an official number, but I do feel like I recall in one of the interviews that we've gotten, I don't remember which one. I do feel like I recall one of the officers saying that they've interviewed over 1,000 people.
Joe Lake did. Yes, he did.
So,
I actually laughed at that, Connor, at first. Like, yeah, right. But here at this point now, with what you've said, that makes perfect sense.
And I don't know if they're counting an interview with those people. I don't know if part of that 1,000 is them going door to door and each person that answers the door counts as an interview or not. Right. Or if it counts as if they're counting like sit down interviews. But
I have a feeling they're counting them all.
They probably are.
Mm-hmm. Probably. Okay, let me make this bigger for you, but this is it, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So what I basically said is that I made sure to say we're not looking for a Spillman initials or a report search. We're not requesting the content of any files. We want the file system directory tree listing of the Synology volume that holds digital evidence for the case. And then I cited what he said. Basically we're not asking for a screenshot or a backup snapshot, We just want to know what is your folder tree and how is this stuff stored in there and what are the names of the files? What are the names of everything in it? And then we also put in there that, 2 collections, he put the files into 2 different collections during his affidavit. He sorted them into items booked into evidence and then do the items from forensic detectives. That's surveillance, all the videos, everything, And then he specifically stated it's all stored in the Synology drive. So since we know that there's 2 collections, we're not making them recreate anything. He has 2 collections. He told us there's 2 collections. So he needs to give us the information out of those 2 collections, because how else can we request it if we don't even know how they have it in there, or what what the file types are, or anything, And so then we asked just to provide us of any existing record of the current file count, the total size for those collections, including any Windows property listing already used to identify as figures. So like where he got those numbers, like the 200,000 and then the 2 million number, you have a list, you know what it is, you counted it. So tell us what that is.
Wow.
Then this kind of stuff,
Yep.
this is a little technical, like a little techy, but it's just basically explaining a breakdown of what we want. Like we need the existing directory listing, for each folder and where the ordinary listing includes the file, the full folder path, the date it was created, the date it was modified, the file size, and the extension. Include generic or unlabeled folders. Because you can easily look at a file name and see like, oh, that's a video. We're going to request for that because we want to see what it is.
I'm just laughing, but do you think they're going to understand this?
Well, that's why I routed it to Tim.
This is excellent.
I said, route to Tim.
They want to make fun of us. Like, this is professional.
I think when they open it and read it, they're going to pee their pants.
Yeah, when she was first telling me about this, I told her to tell it to me, like break it down like in really simple terms.
Yeah.
And I said that.
Well, that's probably why Amber
have no idea what
you're
talking about.
They're still reading it.
And
they're still reading it.
Right. Just to clarify, you said that Amber will not respond to your calls, emails, or nothing now, right?
Yeah, and because she got this morning, and she was supposed to send me all these duplicated files, and then she was supposed to send me Cole Berenberg's interview, and she told me I would have it today. Well, now she won't answer or respond to me. So I don't know if she's mad at me or what.
She's like, what did you guys do to me? They thought they had a lot of work before.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's just basically saying, give me every single file. Tell me what these are. It came in a thumb drive. You're saying there's no descriptions. It could have been interviews, anything. So we want to know what the names of the stuff is, like tell us. And then the next part just says like, you already have a list, like it's just kind of like reiterating like what he said in an affidavit.
Down here to number 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not asked because the big thing is that we don't want to say that we're asking the city to create a new report because we're not. It already exists. This system and this report exists. He told us about it. He knows that's where their files are. So you need to generate whatever you can out of there to tell us what's in it.
Right.
And then if you can't give us a folder tree, then okay, every time something was booked into there, it had to be logged. So you have a log of what went in there, so give us the log. Either way, you can't get out of it. Like you're either going to give us the folder tree or you're going to give us everything that you booked into the system, one way or the other.
Wow.
Good job. Amber probably quit today. I'll just be honest with you. He probably quit today. No lie.
And then like I quoted him. I said, you said multiple interviews. You don't know what they are because there's not good naming, but you still know that a file said multiple interviews. So we want those, it's mind blowing to me.
Right.
They're going to come back and say, yeah, for $100,000.
Exactly.
That's what I told her.
Exactly.
It's going to be
That's what I think they're going to do.
It's going to take us 74 years to do what you want us to do. So yeah, it'll be 100,000, please.
Do you guys remember at the beginning of when people first started filing FOIAs, how they said they'd release everything for $20,000?
$20,000. Yes,
Because
sir.
it'd be a deal, or like they make a deal, and now I feel like over $20,000 has been spent.
Oh my God!
Well, over.
Case,
oh yeah.
And we have not gotten
nothing,
even 1% of what they have.
Absolutely.
You are correct, sir. I fully agree with that.
We should have just all pooled our money together then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, circus music.
They still wouldn't have done it though, Kim, because I don't think they expected any of us to do something like that, to drop that 20 grand. You know what I mean? So they'd have been like, now what do we do? Oh shit, we have to do it. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. That's what they don't want to do. Mm-hmm.
Right.
ABCs of True Crime said they already hit me with a $7,000 quote.
For what?
Yeah, what
Did you
was it for?
request?
They have been requesting. I can't
I'm not
remember.
surprised.
Yeah, I've heard that they've been for a list of FOIA requests and their current status in this case. I don't.
Where's it at? What's this one?
Oh,
100
she said accomplished knows all about it.
Okay. 114,000 quoted for 3 FBI poll cameras. What?
Oh yeah, I saw that too. They do have poll cameras, and it's in a court document where they talk about that, where like they pulled the cameras from the polls, and I don't think anybody's ever requested them because it says they're FBI.
Are you saying that the FBI had a video cameras in this neighborhood the night of the crime?
I told you before, a long time ago, Kim. Yes, they did, because don't you remember? Don't remember, and this is why I took it seriously. Remember Dave, the interview with Dave that I replayed not too long ago?
Yes.
And Dave said there were 50 FBI agents intermingled within the students on campus, on the ground.
Yeah. We heard that since the beginning. Yes.
The FBI had cameras all over campus, guys. They were watching whatever they were doing. Rory said this too when we went, that there was supposedly he saw a camera on a pole real close to the house too. There was something that they were doing something within their investigation, and I promise you there were cameras all over campus. I truly believe that. I really do.
It has to be something, because this just comes back to, why is this investigation like this? It shouldn't
Right.
be like this.
Nope.
It shouldn't. If everything's on the up and up and everything was done legit, it's a closed case. You unleash the files and we get to see the evidence, and this is anything but that.
Have you ever seen any other criminal case treated like this ever? With any type of secrecy like this ever?
No.
Yes, I have. And it was when they came to find out that the cop in the case that was investigating the case was the murderer.
Well, I mean, okay, there you go. But yeah, that makes sense. See? Does that sound familiar? I mean, come on. There you go.
I was going to say the Karen Reed case.
Yeah.
I think the University of Idaho has their hands all over the case as well. I mean,
Agreed.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the president of University of Idaho, Scott Green, he used to live. That was his childhood home, 1122 King Road. That was his childhood home. Like, I mean,
and he's got a view of it from his house now.
Yeah, if you go on public records and land deeds and stuff, his parents owned that home. I feel like he said before that
Denied it.
Grew up in that house. Like,
they owned it from 1967 through 1974. He swears up and down that he never lived in it. I don't believe him. But they did own that home, 100%, from that period of time to that period of time.
When was he born? So, is he claiming that he was like a kid and didn't live there?
Oh, we just looked that up. He would have been only about. Was he born there? They owned the house until he was like 5 or 6.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe not. I don't know. Someone asked a good question here. Someone said that in the reports that the FBI cameras were the ones from Brian's arrest. Does that right here? The cameras they set up in Brian's backyard did they do that before he was arrested? Or do you know that they're different?
I've never heard that.
I don't know.
Yes,
I
there
don't
was
know.
surveillance of his house, a video surveillance. I asked for it. I was denied.
Well, yeah, either way, we should get them and be able to tell you where they're from after we see what's on them. Wow. Is there more in here?
Well, my favorite part is number 6, because I told them to tell me every time that they took a FOIA request and looked it up in this system, because I know they weren't searching for our stuff that we've been requesting in it. And so I want them to tell us, like, this is the date that we went in and we searched for Bianca Perez's interview. And we just couldn't find it. Like, we went and searched for Reed's. And so, and then when they can't give that, that they're not searching that system for the request that the public's asking for.
And they just said no. They didn't really look. They just said no.
Yeah.
They just said no.
Yeah, they just said it doesn't exist. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
and then just on here, this is just like the ending. Go ahead.
Go ahead and finish it. And then, Jago, you can go after that.
And so this was something that Pedro had told me to include, was just saying that this is limited to existing records, listings, inventories, all that. I'm not requesting for the content. I just want to know, like, the tree. And then it's also saying that if any responsive records contain information that's exempt from the disclosure, including information protected under their statutes, please redact it. The exempt information and provide the non-exempt remainder. Please identify the specific statutory exemption relied upon for withholding. The presence of exempt information within a responsive directory, listing, inventory log, or other records should not be treated as a basis to withhold the non-exempt portions of that record. So they can't use that as an excuse to say it has people's names on it. We are going to have to, we can't give that to you because it has to be redacted. They can't use that as an excuse to deny the whole request. That's why he told me to put that part in there.
Yeah. Yeah. And you attach their declarations.
Great.
And highlighted them.
Oh my God.
Great job, Pedro.
That's great right there. That was
Awesome.
wonderful.
I just wondered real quick, Accomplished, do you think that Amber knows about the secondary Synology drive, or do you think that they have withheld that information from her as well?
Well, the way that she told it to me, because, I was really questioning her because I was like, well, it says it exists. Like, why can't you give it to me? It shows us that they're there. Like, they had interviews, and it was almost as if, like, she wasn't going to tell me straight out, but she was like, let me explain how I actually search for these when I get it. And it was almost as if she was like, I know that's not correct, but that's all that I have. Like, like she just takes the initials, the report number.
Yeah.
And she just enters it in. And if she can't find it, she's doing that. It was almost as if, like, she wanted to, like, because I was questioning her. Like, I wasn't being rude. I would never be rude to somebody. But, like, I was just, I was just telling her, like, no, there's an evidence number. Like, you have this stuff,
Right.
So I don't know if she knows about the other server. I would never want to say, like, oh, she knows about it, and then her not know.
Right. No.
But do you think you got her thinking the way you were asking? Because you said she was kind of like, maybe a little embarrassed or knew that it wasn't official or whatever.
Yeah. Well, then she also said, when you attach reports, I don't sit there and just, like, read through them to go look for identifiers either. So, like, she doesn't go and look to see, like, this person and this person could have been interviewed the same date. Like, she's only looking at initials, report number, and the officers on the report is what she told me.
But, okay, so she's not looking for identifiers, right? Like you just said, but at the same time, they make us be very specific when we have these requests, right or wrong.
Right.
She looks through the identifiers that we give her in the request. Like, she doesn't go into the report and look for them herself. She may have a spreadsheet that has all the initials on it, and then she knows where to locate it, But other
Sure.
than that, she's not searching. Like she's not going to do that.
Wow.
We have to
But
put
I don't
that
think that
information in there for them, for her.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she probably quit today.
But
to be honest.
I don't know if she knows that when she searches that she's not searching everything, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
She's
I
only
get it.
searching what is housed with MPD and the Spillman record of whatever, you know.
Yeah, good point.
Do you think she's the only one doing the searching?
There's
Yes.
two. She said there's two people. Mhm.
I think it's just her. I think the other person just like collects the money and does all that.
What's the city attorney's role in this?
They apparently look through. She told me one time, it was a while ago, apparently look through after they've gotten all the stuff together and make sure that there's nothing else that needs to be redacted.
Redactions, yeah. I wonder if the attorney was off the day that they dropped all that stuff that wasn't supposed to be dropped.
I don't think they really sit there and look at it like that. You know what I mean? I think they just say they do so they can get that big chunk of money per hour.
I mean,
well, I did also, just so you know. Oh.
No, go ahead.
Sorry. Oh no, I was just saying I did also some of the ones that were denied, like Reed, DJ Myers, and there was one other one that I know that there should have been interviews for. I took those this morning and I sent in there. I included them and I re-requested and I routed them to Tim Smaldridge. And I said, please look up in the Synology system for these interviews. They were denied and we know that they exist.
Oh my gosh, that's the next.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we'll need to talk about that.
That is awesome.
What we do going forward.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I also worry that some of them, the interviews were not recorded as well, because I know in some of the interviews that Brett Payne did in his report, he specifically says this interview was not recorded and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
That makes me think this is a quadruple homicide case. I mean, not saying like some random person, like, but what if one of the people who was interviewed came out in the interview and said, hey, yeah, I did this.
Bingo. They should all be recorded. You are correct.
Or I know who did this or whatever. But I think they're going to use that as an excuse now. They're just going to come back and say it wasn't recorded, knowing darn well that it was. They just don't want to provide it.
Just like the recorded interview with Brian that Gilbertson had that just conveniently disappeared. Yeah.
Amber told me that the transcript, the pocket recorder, and the video camera from his interview have gone missing and nobody can find them.
From who?
Brian Koberger. The Gilbert, remember the Gilbertson thing?
No way. I don't think one person on this planet would believe that.
Now, why?
Oh, yeah, I asked her on the phone after Jules did something with it, but she said, I asked her how that happens, and she goes, I don't know how that happens, and that multiple people have spent a good amount of time looking for them and nobody can seem to find them.
Gee, that's convenient. Gotta wonder, why would those things specifically just disappear, you guys? Come on.
So that right there is a failure of that's a failure of chain of custody, and that's why they have a chain of custody procedure so that things like that don't happen.
Bingo.
So what would happen if they went to trial then, and that was,
they couldn't produce it
in trial?
It doesn't exist. That would be the answer. Just like Bill likes to say, I can't give you something we don't have. Those are Bill's words, like what are you going to do about it? Prove it. We don't know what happened, Your Honor. It's just not there anymore.
That's just a travesty. Like you can't, it just makes a film of ick over the whole thing. Like, how can you stand by your prosecution of a case where you have that much stuff behind you? Like, I don't know. It's disgusting to me.
They've done so much that the manipulation in the video, the audio manipulation, the 911 call bullshit, this type of stuff, losing the the, the main interview, losing the recording, and everything that Connor said just went missing. Come on, this if nobody sees this for what it is, I mean, go get some new glasses, folks. That's all I can say. Like, you need some good glasses then, because it's right in our faces what it is.
I
Clearly.
mean, yeah, if only one of she said that
Yeah.
the pocket recorder, the transcript, and the video recording are all missing. If only one of them was missing, that would be, I
Right.
guess, more believable. But all three, that's
Exactly.
one
There's
hell of a coincidence.
You
It's
are
like the DNA in the fridge.
Exactly. So, okay, take all those three things and then take the refrigerator that Logan just mentioned, and then take Josie's audio. And then what else did they mess with? Mason Barstow's interview looks funny. What else did they lose or mess
The
up?
1122 camera footage audio.
Oh, yeah, the 1122 camera footage. I mean, we could go on and on, literally for probably 2 hours naming all the things.
The filters that were put over top that Mark B showed us how they put the filters over the vehicles so you can't tell exactly what car it is. All of that, every bit of that. And then
the missing times from the 13 Linda Lane 13, I don't know if it's the 30 or 20, the dumpster.
The dumpster video that's missing.
Miraculously is missing a chunk of time.
35 minutes completely just gone. Everybody out here has looked for it. It's just not, it doesn't exist. Come on.
They must.
But they're not hiding anything. By no means, no.
Yeah, we're not going to stop.
That's what they want. They think if they do all these things, that we're just going to shut up and walk away. Sorry, go ahead.
My biggest thing is that, once EWU got those affidavits back from Smoldridge and Dollinger, I don't understand why they didn't send something in and say, look, you just said that all this stuff is stored on this other server, Synology. So we're telling you that because, Kim, you brought up how they were asking for all the interviews, he clearly states that one of the files is named multiple interviews. I don't understand why they didn't come back and say, we want access to everything in Synology. We want the multiple interview files that you're talking about. They're obviously interviews of, people. And so I just don't understand why in their lawsuit, why they haven't came back and hit them with, give us what's in that server.
Yeah, they didn't name it specifically. Because I watched that trial, like we are hearing, it was a hearing. I didn't hear them address that. They were just saying overall, like, here's what we want. Maybe they're saving it. For a higher court. Because if they don't get what they're going to go to a higher court. They'll appeal it.
Yeah, my deal is that nobody else has talked about this either. So has anybody even realized what they've done? Who made the decision to put that in that other server? Why was that moved over from everything else? That's another question I have. Why did they do that?
That's why this is such breaking news, important information. I haven't heard of this before. I didn't look at that. I've been watching the EWU lawsuit, for you to dig in there, and I mean, there's so much, but to find this and bring it out, oh my, and it's been there the whole time. It's been like this the whole time and we didn't realize it. So thank you. Thank you, all of you, for asking and not giving up. And
do you think that EWU actually truly knows about the other server?
I don't know. I that's what I'm saying. I don't understand why.
Right.
Because that's such a huge thing. And that's where they're saying that, oh, here's all these unlabeled files. We don't know what this stuff is. Okay, so then why aren't they saying, well, then how do you know what you gave to the defense for everything, for one? But then also, obviously, we want the interviews. We want everything in there that we're requesting for, because it probably has everything we've requested for, you're saying is vague, but we don't know how to request it because we don't even know what you have in that system because you don't even know what it is because it's not labeled. So, I mean, there has to be like, I don't understand why something's not being done about like asking for the file directory of that system. Like, I don't understand how they're doing this and getting away with it. That's my biggest problem with it because they're basically denying the public and their own taxpayers the public information that everybody should be able to access.
Someone asked if it would be too late to join in with EWU, and yes, because the judge is supposed to be, we're waiting for the judge to make a ruling on it. So yeah, that will be moving on. Logan, I wanted to ask you, because you've put in so many requests and have done so much work, like, how does this make you feel hearing this?
I mean, this is corruption. This is a level of corruption. This is hiding evidence from the public on a closed case. It's illegal. You can't do that. You cannot withhold evidence from the public.
Right. It is clear evidence suppression. And it was even when the case was open, obviously, they were doing the same thing. So
I just think, like, I can't imagine, like, you're constantly like multitasking and, you know, putting in requests and, you know, have put in a lot of time and effort, and to just know that this is the way it's being handled, you know, it's just, I don't know.
I mean, Connor, how do you feel? This is a lot of money between all, you know, this whole community.
Yeah,
it seems like now we've gotten nowhere because what we really want.
And I also, I mean, other departments and stuff, like I was FOIA-ing Post Falls, Coeur d'Alene, Boise, and all of them, a lot of them I did not have to pay anything for unless it went over their work needing 2 hours, because they specifically said in Idaho code, we cannot charge if the work is over 2 hours. And if it's under 2 hours, sorry. If the work is under 2 hours, they cannot charge. So I'm not sure why we are paying for, like, I haven't posted it yet, but I got a 5-minute interview yesterday. That was $50. So there's no way they spent over 2 hours on a 5-minute interview.
I think it's a diversion tactic, you guys. I've always thought that it was a diversion to divert us away from doing this. If we charge them money, they won't do it. They won't want to do it. And they see that they're wrong. So, you know, don't forget to add Jules into that mix too for the money she's dropped on some of the shit.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
I wanted to say that we invited Jules to be with us. Absolutely, she has gotten so much information, and she shares everything that she gets, as does everybody up here. And you know, and there's others. I know there's other creators. This is not an all-inclusive group. That we appreciate very much, but she had some issues and couldn't join us. So
right. And there's probably other people that have done it as well that we just don't really truly know about. I know Lee did some things, you know, and a few other creators out there probably have as well.
Outcast gets things. I mean, if I try to name everybody, I'll forget somebody. I mean, of course, Lana, you know, everybody's getting things.
Right.
I'm curious what Brian would think, knowing that there's so much stuff that's being suppressed and said doesn't exist when it surely does.
He's gonna know now because once Jules hears this, it's gonna get passed on through the grapevine, and 100%. Wow.
Oh, the G's are gonna come back and say something stupid.
Just one more thing to add to his list of look what they did to me now, you know?
I mean, I don't think he knew about the clump of hair in Ethan's hand until Broken Plea came out.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
And there's many things he didn't know, I don't think. I truly believe that once his family reached out to Turby, a whole lot came out that he probably didn't know about, honestly. It's just one more big thing to show. This is what they've been doing.
How do you prove that something's not there that should be there? You know, like,
Well, a part of it, Kim, like accomplished and Connor were saying, there's reports on some of this stuff they're saying doesn't exist. Okay, so there's already a bit of a paper trail that exists leading to it. So when they say it doesn't exist, it's basically a okay, but what about this? And show them the document, and then what are they going to say at that point? Then it just disappears or something. You know what I mean?
That they didn't record it.
Yeah, right.
But there's also different things, like for Josie Lauteran's interview, we have the video for that. There is no audio for it. In the video, you specifically can see the officer who was interviewing her taking notes on paper. I requested the handwritten notes, and they told me those do not exist. And that is on video of them doing that. So
I watched them write them down, but they don't exist. Thank you.
So I'm not sure if that's something where the officer threw the notes out later on, if the officer has them in his desk or something and they're not in evidence somewhere. But if that's the case, it should have been able to be, okay, well, hey, we have a request for this. Can we see them and take like a scan or some photos of them?
But what do you think their process is? Because every ISP report that we have, well, many of them are interviews, right? Like starting off with Jack Showalter, and they are literally writing down, I'm assuming, what was said. They are, because we can hear the interviews. So like Mason Barstow, for example, we can compare the ISP report to the video, and it's pretty, follows along. So Josie has an interview. Isn't there an ISP? Or no?
I think it's a
MPD.
MPD, yeah.
Where did that? So we have so that's different, you think, than their handwritten notes?
I'm not sure. I just wanted to see if anything was different. But
the report more than likely had to come from their notes if they did the interview.
Exactly.
Created the report from something. They usually make those.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think a lot of times they make those reports off of the recording. You know what I'm saying? And then they transcribe it to a report itself. So if there was no audio recorded and all he had was notes, where did the report come from? It had to have come from that. So,
well, I'm thinking it comes from the audio, which would prove they had the audio.
Or yeah,
you have the audio because you wrote up a report of what was said in the audio. Just like with Mason, just like with all of them, like we can go through. In fact, we were listening to one of the videos and it was a little hard to understand. And someone said, pull up the report, because if you follow the report as you're listening to it, it helps you. And I was like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. So I think those reports come from the audio.
That's what I mean. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I also do think not all of them do, because for the Sigma Chi victimology interviews, that report quite literally says, I interviewed this person on this day, I interviewed this person on this day, and has nothing about the interviews. And then for Peter's longer interview or Bianca Perez's longer interview, the report is about a paragraph long and the interviews are over an hour. So
they were also handing out questionnaires to these people. Remember that? In a lot of the interviews, these questionnaires they give them, then they use the questionnaire as a basis for the interview.
I FOIA'd the questionnaires. I was denied.
See?
What was the reasoning?
Privacy.
They deny them.
Isn't there?
Okay. What is the difference? I'm sorry, Connor. Go ahead.
But Bianca's was out there. It's in their report. Remember, Connor? It's in that 159. They released hers.
Yeah, because I was going to say, didn't one of the ISP reports have a scanned copy of the handwritten victimology forms in it? But it was only one, not all of them. Well, didn't one of the reports in the Idaho State Police reports have a scanned copy?
Yes.
Publicly available?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was very basic. It looked like a 5th grade worksheet.
It probably is, knowing what we're talking about, Kim. Here's my question, though. How is it privacy? You know what I'm saying? Like Connor just said, he's denied over privacy issues, but we can hear the interview. Yeah, they do redact it, yeah, but what the hell's the difference? I
If
don't
this went to
understand it.
trial like it was supposed to, half of this stuff, like all the phone records, the photos, all that stuff, that would be public. All these
Yes,
people would be named publicly if they testified as a witness.
exactly. Exactly.
So
That's why I've never understood any of the privacy
so
bullshit.
if this did go to trial, would they have been still redacting stuff how they are now?
I mean, they could have tried. It wouldn't make no difference because we'd know it all. And I said that years ago. Like, why are you hiding this, this, and this? When it goes to trial, we're gonna know it anyway.
Yeah.
You can't hide it that way.
Well, doesn't this explain the plea deal? They couldn't go to trial with this.
It was never gonna go to trial, Kim. I truly believe that.
Yeah. Weak cases lead to plea deals by prosecutors.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Definitely how it works.
And another thing, I mean, we've seen their redactions are inconsistent. I mean, I believe in Kai Davis's interview and in Jack DeCour's sketches of the King Road house, Dylan and Bethany's names are not redacted, but and then most of the other stuff, they are redacted. And I've thought about it before, like nobody is going to spend their time listening to, I don't know, Caleb Jacobson's interview if they do not follow the case, you know? Nobody who is going to be listening to that interview does not know Dylan and Bethany's names. I feel like they are just as prominent names in this case as Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan.
Yeah.
If you know Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan's names based off of this case, you probably also know Dylan and Bethany's names.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a perfect example of that is that Kiva, what is her last name? The liar. What the hell? I can't. Anyway, you guys know who I'm talking about. The one that gave the interview about Brian Koberger being the creep that she was trying to make him out to be. So they're talking about her administrator, I guess, and she calls her D 3, 4, 5 times. Then it just comes out of nowhere. Oh yeah, and by the way, Danielle said, and I went, well, we know who D is now. Thank you for that. Like they're very weak. They're not consistent with anything. So yeah.
And there's been a ton of other interviews like that where they have missed different things. I mean, in Martha Smith's interview, they practically said Mason Bangman's name.
Yes, they did. You are correct.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah that they did.
I'm grateful they're weak, but at the same time, like if you're not going to be consistent, just don't do it at all.
Yeah, I mean, in the MPD reports, we have the initials of people, and in the ISP ones, we don't have the initials for people. I mean, I believe I think Idaho State Police redacted their own stuff, but I did have like a 45-minute conversation with Amber over the phone, and she gave me like a full list of the initials of everyone who was interviewed in each report. So that's how we've been basing stuff off of.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny because the MPD supplementary reports are a joke. Like they tried to redact by blacking things out, and they did such a horrible job. I didn't have to spend much time but I figured out probably at least half of the names that were redacted just because they would redact the 3 letters and then the rest of the first and last name is there or a letter or two. It's real easy to figure it out. So they don't do a good job at all. They're not consistent with any means.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe I figured out a good 80% of the names in the MPD ones. So
yeah, it's really easy to do. They're so bad at it. So bad. There's too much. I agree with Mystic. There's way too much inconsistency. And the things that they're being inconsistent with, you would think are the things that they would be more worried about, but they don't care. MPD is I mean, Keystone Cops is a good way to put it, guys, because they're just horrible. They're horrible.
Well, this leads me to something I wanted to end with you guys about is like, where do we go from here? Like,
this is just the beginning.
Yeah. Absolutely. Because now we know, Kim, and they could thank God for, Accomplished and Connor. They can't lie to us anymore. Okay. We know. And of course, whether they like it, we're going to tell the world. any chance we get. This is what they're doing. This is what they did. This is probably why they're doing it, and they're going to keep doing it, and we're not dumb enough to accept it anymore. Period.
And we're going to wait for Accomplish to get a response someday.
I can't wait for that.
Are you there? Make a prediction. How long do you think it'll take to get a response?
I don't know. I think it's like they have 35 days, I think, to respond, but I don't know.
We shouldn't wait for a response. I mean,
I wouldn't.
I know myself. I'll be calling some attorneys tomorrow just to for you get a free consult with a lot of people. So
absolutely
use that.
And that was kind of why I asked Kim what we should do. Like, should we blast it out and then like tell everybody what's going on, or do we wait to see if they approve it and then we tell everybody like we're gonna get this big boulder tree of stuff? Like I didn't know what to do. That's why I kind of just started talking to people, and she was like, let's do a show.
It needed blasted out either way. Accomplished, no matter what. Everybody needs to know 100%, regardless of what the outcome is, because it's just it's justification. Okay, for one, we've been thinking on this for how long now, that this is what's going on, not this specific thing, but that something's going on. And here's the answer here, first and foremost. And I think it needs to be heard by everybody, because I'm sure they'll try to figure out another way to do this, possibly. So,
yeah, I don't think talking about it or not talking about it affects them.
Right. I mean, they have to know that we post the stuff on YouTube. They have to know we're from YouTube. I mean,
of course, they hate.
Oh yeah, they do. I've talked to Amber about it, and Amber. Well, I shouldn't say that. Never mind.
Should maybe use initials.
I've talked to Amber over the phone countless times. I've never actually had any. She's always been very nice and polite to me.
Right.
No, I wasn't going to say anything that, she's always been super nice when she likes me in that moment. Sometimes she hates me and won't answer my calls.
Oh, yes.
Or call me back.
That's what she's doing to me.
She's always been professional on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine being in that position, and especially now, if she knows more, or like when you were asking her, like, why are you looking, how are you looking this up? Could you try this? And even getting a whiff of something that, oh, maybe this isn't right, what we're doing here. I don't know. I couldn't work somewhere like that.
It's not her fault. She only goes as far as her training goes. What they tell her, it's not her fault.
Nope. Not at all.
No, she only does what she's told. That's fact. But like I said earlier, we know somebody that has reached out to an attorney already on this, okay? And stated that when there are things like this that are being done, or if they're not responding, and if you do another request and they ignore you or they tell you the same thing, then we need to let that person know. And if they're about their word and they're down for it, I'll tell the people that have told me about this person and see what they can do for it. Maybe something will happen from it. Who knows?
So we've got a handful of attorneys that practice different types of law that cover this case and talk about this case. And if they don't cover this, maybe, I don't know what type of lawyer you need to be to address a FOIA issue, but we should have enough connections to find somebody we have to find somebody who wants to do it, would help us out, not charge crazy, maybe do it, pro bono or whatever they call it, just for the cause.
Would it have to be in Idaho though?
I don't know.
Probably. I don't know. Probably. Or go to Idaho.
Where are EWU's attorneys out of?
It's a good question.
They're not from EWU's they're from Nevada or something, right?
Right.
I looked that up one time. I emailed their lawyer. I emailed their attorney as soon as I caught wind of it, because I was like, oh my gosh, do they know everything that's been going on out here in YouTube? You know, just to tell them, never got a response back. I didn't expect one, but I made it clear that like there were more issues than just not getting interviews and whatever else they cited. Like, because I didn't feel that they addressed the over redacting and the charging of money enough.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. Well, guys,
Connor, if I can ask a quick question. Somebody had asked Connor, let me find the question again. I just had it. Connor, somebody had asked if you guys had gotten interviews for Colby Pugh, number 9 from the Grub Truck, and who was also at the Sigma Chi party, and his girlfriend, I think it's Britton Seward, and her friend with the red backpack. Is it Alyssa Olvera? I'm sorry. And they were just curious because they were all Sigma Chi and seemed a little off at the Grub Truck.
I will go submit a request for all 3 of them as soon as we get off.
Awesome. There you go, ma'am.
EWU's lawyers are from Kansas City, Missouri, and Washington.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
I wonder if that Washington lawyer is licensed to practice in Idaho. I feel like I heard that. Possibly.
Isn't there a lawsuit against Washington, though?
Oh, wait. EWU?
Yeah.
No, it's against MPD.
It's against MPD. You were thinking of the...
Yeah.
I know. No, WSU, EWU.
Yeah. Never mind.
Same thing.
Yeah, when we get out of here, I'm going to talk to the people that spoke to me about that attorney and see what the odds are that something can be done with that, and maybe make something happen that way if we can.
Mm-hmm. Accomplished day. Anything last that you want to share about this?
No, I just wanted to tell everybody what I found, and so that everybody could know, because I couldn't do it by myself. And I know that everybody's done so much, with these FOIAs. And so I went to Kim and I was like, okay, so how do we tell everybody? What do we need to do about this? Because I feel like it's a big deal. I feel like it needs to get out that the public can't even get access to the records that they deserve to see, So
this is a good start. And you have no idea how appreciative I am to the two of you. So very much appreciative. I can't even explain it in words. So thank you so very much for your hard work, both of you.
That's why I didn't hesitate too much, because I'm like, this is about our rights to information, and that's crucial. So usually I'm hesitant about those kinds of things, but not with this. This is too important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How about you, Connor? A final thought or comment?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm not sure where to go from here.
I kind of feel like I always on my show, sometimes I'll say, hey, we have a call to action, something to all look for or work on together or whatever. I think one of the things is to go back and look at everything. If there's anything that was denied, to now go back and ask for it, maybe following the way you worded some things in there accomplished today. Now that we know about the Synology, right? So everybody could do that. What else?
Yes.
I mean, I think if people start flooding them with FOIAs, it's gonna I don't think it would be a bad thing, because they're gonna be like, okay, look, we're gonna have to answer this request because we're gonna continue to get emails like this. We're gonna continue to get requests from everybody. So if people just start flooding them and say, look, we know about this other system. You denied this that we requested. Look into the other system because we know it exists somewhere. I mean, I think
what I'm gonna do.
That's a big thing.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start sending FOIA requests. Give me page 3 of the first file in the serology search. That's all I want. Just
There
give
you
me
go.
one page out of a random file.
There you go. That's a good idea.
It's specific. I don't care what's on it. I don't know what's on it, but it's going to prove that it's there. They can do that.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Logan.
You should divide it up. Everybody takes 100.
And when you get it, and if there's proof, then end of story.
I don't care what file it is. Give me the first 10 pages.
Yeah.
Bingo. Great
we
idea.
should just say, I'm requesting folder number, like the first folder that is in the Synology system. And then you go, the number 2. I'm requesting the second one.
File number
And
1
all its
from
contents.
Synology. Yep.
Yep.
Bingo. That's a great idea. Hell, I'll do it too. Maybe each one of us will get a file, and that'll prove it right there.
They'll be like, it's not titled number 1.
I just worried they're going to deny it on grounds of that it's like work product or
Right.
something like that.
Privacy,
Yeah,
FBI. They're just going to do the same thing all over again.
I can't give you the whole file. I need a specific piece of information within the file. We don't know what the hell's in those files and how it's organized. So it's a good try, though. We could definitely try it.
I mean, what's privacy changes every day for them. I mean, a while back, I requested Eric Gower's text with Kaylee, and that was denied under privacy and stuff. And then when I paid a duplication fee for all case files that was in there, so
exactly.
Yeah.
Good point.
You guys are amazing at going at those things in different ways. Like you're saying, like, let me try to get everything that's a duplication fee, or kudos to you guys for doing that. That's amazing. So. Yes. Thank you.
Again, I can't express my gratitude to you guys any more than I do. It's you, all of you, Christy included, Jules, all of you guys that do this. Like I do little bits here and there trying to request FOIAs and stuff like that, but I don't have the time or the patience to do what you guys do. So I have so much gratitude towards what you guys do, and thanks and appreciation. I can never express it just in words. So thank you so much again.
Yeah,
well said. Thank you.
I'll say this now. There is a ton of stuff that me and Accomplished Day have both paid for that is coming soon. So
awesome. Awesome. And thank you again. And we will continue to try to support you guys as much as we can in that aspect to get help to you guys for not, we always, like on the verdict room and stuff, we try to support it that way, letting people know how much you guys are doing. We put your links out, Connor. Many times we'll continue to do that, as well as Accomplished, to make sure that you guys are getting some kind of help and support for doing this, because you can't keep coming out of your own pockets for this. 100%. So
thank you.
That's yes. And I've always tried, Logan, everybody, whenever you guys have something going on, just let us know. That's how.
Please, every time.
Yes. We will tell people, and people are very generous. This community understands, like, hey, it takes a lot of us to.
They want answers, right?
Things. We want answers. We got to all chip in, and.
Absolutely. And I will run it on every damn show if I have to, just to ensure that people know that you guys, Logan, you two, Christy, anybody that needs the help with that, please just tell me. Don't be afraid to say, hey guys, I got these requests out. We need this. They're going to cost this much. And I'm telling you, that day, I'll just bam, 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 bam.
Thank you, Amelia.
Boom,
Carmela,
right
that's
there.
hilarious.
Get that FOIA, girl, because I don't want my name anywhere near the system.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Carmela.
Thank you. Very generous. There you go, Logan.
Thank you so much.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you, guys. Yeah, but don't be afraid to ask, you guys. Seriously, just send a message, an email, whatever. We need help, please. And I promise you, we will make sure it happens.
Yes. I want to say thank you to everybody that gave donations, super chat, super stickers. I tried to hit them as we went. The ones that had like questions and things like that. Some of them just had the little symbols. You guys are awesome. Thank you to all the mods. Connor, I am so honored that this was your first live panel. I just am thrilled because I've chatted with you in the Discord, and I just appreciate you for coming up. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was very nice to meet you too, Connor, finally.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Accomplished. You are killing it, girl. You are just I look at the product, the charts and the PowerPoints and the things, and you're working, right? Full time?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I'm like, when is she doing this?
Right.
It's amazing. So
when's the last time anybody's talked to Amber?
I spoke with her.
She emailed me yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, because somebody said they're hiring for this position for her. Like,
what did I tell you?
Oh
position
no.
with hers. I haven't looked into
She
it.
probably
I
quit
just
this
saw it.
morning.
Right. Also, real quick, Accomplished, I wanted
She
to just
probably
say
was like,
something.
this girl.
Yes.
Any
Sorry.
drama that were to no, don't apologize. Any drama that comes about, please know that we have your back. Okay, I want you to understand that. That's all I'm going to say. You know what I'm talking
thank
about. You know what I mean. I'm just going to leave it there and just let you know we have your back. Okay.
Oh, this channel's not part
Thank
of any
you.
drama.
Yes.
I don't even pay attention. I don't know about
Yeah.
Right.
nothing, so.
That's all I wanted to say. Period.
Yeah, thank you.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
And thank you
All
for
right.
letting me come on and let us tell about everything.
This needed to be shared. I was just floored.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Maybe we can get Amber to join us over here now if she quit.
Come on, Amber, spill that tea for us.
Right.
We want some inside scoop. All right, everybody, have a wonderful rest of your night. Spread this information. I guess it's important to know what is going on, and especially anybody that has been putting in FOIA requests. And please keep Connor and Accomplished that they post things on their channels. They're not going live, so it's extra important to go to remember those channels, to go over there, and it kind of takes an extra little effort to make donations to them, but their links are there to make those donations. So please do that for them. And Logan,
Yes.
also. So, all right. We say over here, we're clocking out, guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Have a great night, folks.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching, hope you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. Subscribe, it's free and keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew now, right where you belong. Join us next time, same truth, same fire. We bring the heat and never tire. We're typically unique and proud to be a husband and wife in podcast harmony. Practically unique, yeah, that's you and me. Don't forget to like and hit subscribe, it's free. Come back again, we'll be right here with truth and laughs and zero fear. We don't always agree, but that's the show. One love, two minds, letting it flow. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but that's the show. One love, two minds, letting it flow. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. Thanks for watching, hope you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. It's free, it keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew, now right where you belong. Join us next time, same truth, same fire. We bring the heat and never tire. We're typically unique and proud to be a husband and wife and proud to be a husband and wife in podcast harmony. Yeah, that's you and me, that's all I need. Don't forget to like, hit subscribe, it's free. Come back again, we'll be right here with truth and laughs and zero fear.